Yo, what's going on guys? Jared here. Today I'm bringing to you a video talking about Thunder Dragon. I have made a Thunder Dragon deck to use Colossus, and I think it's different than what a lot of other people are doing. A lot of people are doing these big combo decks with maybe things like White Sworn, Tearlament, Horus, a million things. This deck I think is actually kind of interesting because you kind of combine the combo-ness of what the Thunder Dragons you're usually doing, and you're actually kind of integrating them into a slow and steady type of build with the Runick package as well, and you're still trying to get those good synchro monsters out as best as you can, but obviously we have to subsidize the Baron and the Savage being lost for other types of synchros, but there's still other good synchros that you can play in the game, right? Like it's not over for synchros, obviously. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this deck profile. Okay guys, so here is the deck that I came up with right now. This is so many ways to still make this and do other things with it, with all these other options in the side deck. I pulled out a bunch of different stuff that you can try also. But this is kind of where I'm at with it right now. Very simple, very tasteful, and I have a replay at the end just to kind of show the power of the board that you can make at the end. I think it's very, very interesting, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So overall, very quickly, we can go through the card by card. For the Thunder stuff, we have 3 copies of Thunder Dragon, 3 Dragon Roar, 3 Dragon Dark, 1 Thunder Fusion, and 3 Dragon Hawk with 2 Dragon Matrix. These are very refreshing to be able to see play again. As much as I do not like Thunder Dragon Colossus down here, it's refreshing to have these back in a deck. And maybe see them get some kind of competitive success again. After that, we have the tuner package for our deck, which is the 3 Vision Resonator, the 1 Hop Your Squadron, and the 1 Crimson Gaia. This is obviously the main tuner package. We have the Hop Your Squadron to search off of Cupid Pitch, and Vision Resonator also being a good discard for Hugin is very nice with Crimson Gaia. And then we also have 1 copy of Instant Fusion, because Instant Fusion can be used to summon out Hugin, or it can be used to summon out Commandery Attack to be able to keep either engine going, whichever one you want. Then we have for the Runick package, we have 3 Destruction, 2 Dispelling, 3 Flashing Fire, 2 Fountain, 3 Freezing, 3 Tip, and 3 Slumber. So we have a 19 card Runick package. I usually do 20, but I wanted to make sure I fit the Instant Fusion because I think it's both a Runick card and a Thunder card in a weird way together, which I really, really like. Going on to the extra deck, we have 3 copies of Hugin, 1 of the freshly brought back Thunder Dragon Colossus, 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Titan, 1 copy of Jerry, 1 copy of Commandery Attack, 1 IP, 1 SP, 1 Cupid Pitch, 1 Dissipator, 1 Excel Stardust Dragon, 1 Crimson Dragon, and 1 copy of Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. This will make sense in a little bit. I will tell you about it when I get to the combo, but there is a cool line with this that I actually think is pretty interesting and something that you could probably try out. And like I said, for the side deck, you have other options that you can play. You can play this other tuner, which is Mental Tuner, which goes with E-Telly because, you know, it's a psychic, so you're able to E-Telly it out. So you can get 6 copies of it in here if you want to. Its effect's kind of interesting. It banishes light and darks to be able to increase or decrease its level, so you can modify it depending on how many you want to do, and you can use this to trigger things like Dragon Roar, Dragon Dark, to be able to get those triggers and possibly go into bigger synchro plays. So it kind of depends on what you want, and then also you can target your banished monsters, return in the graveyard, and then again you can modify its level again. So there's a lot of moving parts with this card. I don't know how I would want to use this yet. You know, you want to pair it with like Hugin, but also you want to be able to do stuff with the Thunder, and the extra deck can only have so many cards, so it's kind of difficult to be able to fit all of it in. And yeah, I have not touched this yet, but it was an option that I wanted to at least mention because I think it's really interesting. Also, Metamorphosis can have a place in this deck because of Frecky. Frecky being able to go into Dragon Dark, I think, is hilarious and can be done. Yeah, there's something cool and funny that is an option that you have in this deck. Obviously, you can play Bestials if there is the, obviously the tuner package, the Thunder Dragon cards. Bestials can definitely have a place in this deck. Obviously, they trigger Thunder Dragon, and they go in the good synchro lines, so something to keep in mind. Talents, I think, is going to be pretty good this format with how the ban was worked out with Baron and Savage being banned. Yep, the other Runick cards, again, that you can play. This is also a tuner that you can play because it has 600 defense. It's searchable with Cupid Pitch, which is actually pretty cool. You can target a banished light or dark, special to your field and gain its effects, but you can only special summon light or dark synchros for the rest of the turn, which I'm not completely sold on yet, but I think it's a pretty interesting card to maybe tech out and try to use. And then the second effect can banish cards if you use a Sigma material, so it's kind of cool. Nothing too crazy though. We also have Nemesis Corridor, which of course everyone is hyping up right now to go into Thunder Dragon Colossus, but you're playing a Thunder deck anyway. Even though it's searchable with Cupid Pitch, I don't think that's that big of a deal. We also have Synchro Fusionist that you can use because some combos you don't use your normal summon, so you can normal summon this card after using Cupid Pitch and be able to search out Instant Fusion, which is kind of interesting, and then an extra copy of Crimson Gaia. So obviously the point of this deck is to be able to go into Synchro Alliance and then Colossus, Titan, and then possibly be able to do some other stuff as well. And then you also have a very good grind game because you have infinite grind game with Thunder Dragon Fusion. With how this card operates, I think it's really, really cool because you play 2 copies of Titan. You just have to remember to be fusing Titan for Titans later on in the game, right? We can't run out of Titans. So you have infinite grind game with Thunder. You also have infinite grind game with Runick. Once both these engines are going, you're off to the races. Like, you just cannot stop. There's something to keep in mind. So make sure you use your resources properly with Thunder, because I think a lot of people maybe forgot how to use them right. And you have to be able to fuse Thunder Dragon Titan for Thunder Dragon Titan and keep it going and going and going and going. So after the first one, that's the main thing. Yeah, so that's going to be it for the actual deck profile. For the actual combo, let's go ahead and jump into it. This isn't like a 1 or 2 card thing. It just has to kind of be by test hands, because every hand kind of plays out differently. There's not like a strict thing that you do with most Runick decks, of course. So I'm just going to show you this one replay that I have for you. Okay, guys, so here's the hand. We have Runick Tip, Runick Fountain, Dragon Roar, Vision Resonator, and Dragon Hawk. This is just to give an idea of what the kind of stuff that this deck can do. Even though it has that infinite grind game and infinite control, you are still able to be able, to be able to grind out very well and infinitely grind all of these decks in the format, because both these engines grind very, very well. So yeah, we have Runick Tip with the Fountain, so we are able just to get the extra body in the graveyard for the Fountain later. Then we can use Hugin, discard the Dragon Roar to search Fountain, and be able to put back the 2 and draw 2. Always make sure you go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, so that you're able to get these extra draws. So here we can use the Dragon Hawk to get back the Dragon Roar. Because we have a 5 or higher Dark, we can special summon Vision Resonator. Then we can synchro Vision Resonator and Hugin to go into Cupid Pitch. In this instance, we are going to reduce Cupid Pitch by 2. There is other lines where you increase Cupid Pitch by 2 because you want to use Hugin to go into this with this again. It always changes, so just make sure you do that. You're also triggering Vision Resonator to get the Crimson Gaia. And then you're going to use Crimson Gaia to get another Vision Resonator. Then you can synchro the Cupid Pitch and the Dragon Roar to go into the Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Use the Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon to get back the Vision Resonator. I'd like to point out, I forget to search with Cupid Pitch, so there is a Hoppier Squadron in your hand. Do not forget that there is a Hoppier Squadron here. I completely forgot to grab it in this replay. Then you are able to use the Dragon Roar as well to be able to summon out Dragon Dark. So the reason this is so funny is because when you do this synchro to go into the Excel, you have the Excel trigger, you have the Cupid Pitch trigger, and then you also have the Dragon Roar trigger. So you have a lot of things happening at once that you have to remember. So again, even I missed it, just don't forget. So now this is your board. And you can now use the Vision and the Excel to go into Dissipator. And remember, your opponent has a card banished from tip, so you kind of have a negate on the field. Then you can use Runick Fountain, use Flashing Fire, summon out Jerry. You can use Fountain to put back to draw a Dragon Dark. Then you're able to use the Jerry and the Dragon Roar to go into SP. Use the SP to banish the Dragon Roar, which is very nice. You can also use Dragon Dark to be able to grab Thunder Fusion, because if it's sent from the graveyard or banished, you're able to add any Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand. Then you are able to use Dispotter to bring back the Dragon Roar. And then from here, you're able to use the Dragon Roar to go into Colossus, because you already used a one in the hand, which was Thunder Dragon Hawk earlier. Then you are able to use Thunder Dragon Fusion to put back the 3, and then go into a Colossus. And then, yeah, this is pretty much should be your end board. But again, do not forget that you have a Hoppier Squadron in your hand. So what does Hoppier Squadron do, right? Obviously, this board is crazy. You already have Dispotter, SP Little Knight, Thunder Dragon Colossus, and Titan with the Dark in hand to be able to pop on your opponent's turn. But after you pop on your opponent's turn, you can use the Hoppier Squadron with the Colossus, which Colossus is a level 10, by the way. Use it to go into Crimson Dragon. Then you can use the Crimson Dragon effect to target the Bestial Dissipator and go into the, here, I will show you the card. You can go into the Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. This card is pretty good. When your opponent activates a monster, you can make it unaffected, and then it's a Spell Trap Negate Omni effect negate too, which is very nice. And then, yeah, it's just good. Overall, this is a good, solid card. It also can recycle the Hoppier Squadron if it dies, I believe. And a win monster from deck there. Never mind, ignore that. But you can, but yeah, this is an Omni negate, right? So you can still switch around your Colossus to go into another Omni negate after that was free because you searched it with Cupid Pitch. So you're getting constant value out of your cards. Like, everything kind of has a purpose. You can move them around very nicely and do a lot of different stuff, and I really like that. So again, this deck can still combo and it still has grind game, which I really, really like. So what do you guys think? This is something different for Colossus. I know everything's been combo piles, so I think this deck has the best of both worlds for Thunder Dragon cards, at least in my opinion. And you also have the benefit of things like SP Little Knight being able to trigger your Thunder Dragons in the graveyard for, maybe later in the game if you get hand trapped. You can trigger them from the graveyard with your Hugin because you always have a fusion to make it. What do you guys think about this deck? How would you change it down below? I think there's a lot of ways and innovation that you can do for a deck like this, and I'm really curious what you guys think. So if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.